It is a pleasure to welcome you all to our sessions from clicks to customs, frictionless cross-border trade and digital world. Cross-border e-commerce continues to unlock new opportunities for businesses to reach customers around the world, while selling internationally has become easier than ever. Fulfilling those orders efficiently remains a challenge for many businesses. As global consumer expectations continues to rise, new opportunities, uh, companies are increasingly looking for ways to reduce friction, improve delivery experiences, and better navigate customs and regulatory requirements. Through today's session, we bring together experts from customs, logistics, and e-commerce enablement to share practical insights and real-world experiences on how businesses can overcome these challenges and unlock new growth opportunities through cross-border trade. Today's agenda is divided into two parts. First, a masterclass session, followed by an engaging panel discussion with industry experts. A quick note, please feel free to use the chat box throughout the session to share your questions and comments. We will try to address as many as possible during the Q&A segment. We are pleased to have with us our masterclass speaker, Mr. Shahid Mufti from Dubai Customs. Mr. Mufti will be sharing valuable insights on the last mile starts at the border, rethinking cross-border clearance, and we will discuss how custom processes, compliance, and trade facilitations play a critical role in enabling seamless international commerce. Mr. Mufti, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm Shahid Mufti. Just give me 1 second. I have to share my screen first. Okay, so I hope everyone can see the screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, we can, Mr. Mufti.
Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you all to this session. Today, e-commerce is transforming the way business operates and how customers purchase products across borders. The rapid growth of the online e-commerce has created new opportunities, but it has also introduced challenges related to customs processing, logistics coordination, declarations, returns management, and end-to-end visibility. To address these challenges, we have developed a digital platform that connects key stakeholders across e-commerce ecosystem, including e-commerce companies, logistics service providers, brokers, last mile delivery partners, the free zones, and customers. During this session, we will talk you through, we will walk you through how the platform simplifies cross-border e-commerce transactions, automatic customs related processes, and supports efficient return management and provides seamless experience for business and the customers. We will also highlight the key benefits of the platform, including faster processing, reduced operational efforts, improving transparency, and enhanced customer experience. I hope this session will provide you with a clear understanding of the platform capabilities and how it can support the future growth of cross-border e-commerce. With that, let's begin the presentation. So traditional e-commerce processes often involves manual documentation, multiple touch points, and delays. The platform across these challenges addresses these challenges through automation, digital processing, and better integration between the stakeholders. This helps reduce processing time, improve accuracy, and support scalable uh, commerce growth. The unified cross-border ecosystem bring all stakeholders together on a single platform. So at the center, you can see it is a B2C e-commerce platform acting as a shared system that connects everyone involved. One side, e-commerce companies, online buyers initiating the transactions, and then logistic providers handling movement and storage of goods, free zone management across the gate controls, while customs systems take care of the declaration and compliance. All of these is integrated into one transparent platform, enabling faster processing, better visibility, and smooth cross-border trade. This is actually high-level overview of how actually the platform actually works. So I will put a pointer here to give you an overview that how can one can benefit from here. So it is start with the registration. So definitely the company must be registered with Dubai Customs. It could be e-commerce company, or it could be a 3PL, or the broker who is doing the declaration on behalf of the e-commerce or 3PL partners and do the last mile delivery as well. So first part is initial is to you have to register with Dubai Custom if you are a new company. If you are existing company, then you have to modify your existing registration with Dubai Customs and include you as a 3PL or e-commerce identification, or you can include both if you are both. So that I have give here the number from the sequence point of view that first the registration part is complete, everybody is onboarded, then the platform actually start working. So customer goes online, company website and create a e-commerce website and create a order over there. That order through coming order management system to e-commerce partner. E-commerce company, if standalone joining the platform, it is also possible. Or if they are just e-commerce online seller and they have the partners and storage providers, so they can do also join the platform and both together. And if they have the broker as well, they can join also with the broker along with it. So platform actually flexible enough that any way of doing business, it will be supported by the platform. So I will take an example. Mostly the companies online, they register with e-commerce company with a 3PL partner. So once order is received, it is transferred to the logistic company to actually do the movement from free zone and deliver to the customer. Customer could be in a mainland, customer could be in a rest of the world, or customer could be in a GCC countries. So it is possible, all movements are possible through that. Logistic partners may have a broker or may have a last mile delivery partner. So they will provide the shipping detail if goods are moving from free zone. Once order detail and the shipping details we have received, then platform automatically identify the declaration type and process the declaration. And this will go into the declaration management system where the declarations are processed, cleared, risk assessed, and everything is done in the traditional system. And they will get a clearance message from the declaration system on the platform, and platform automatically move forward to the next steps. And platform also provides certain other benefits like platform supports returns also, because now e-commerce trade, more 10 to 30% are normal returns. So during the normal process where we have a B2B to C, actually it is very difficult for companies to take the refund of the duties and other charges whenever the returns are happening. It is actually no more. They will not, because the lengthy process. So nobody opt for the return things or return custom duties. But platform automatically give you the benefit that if it is a partial return, platform give you the partial duty refund. If it is a full return, it will give you the full duty refund wherever applicable. Platform also provide facility that customs duty, if it is from free zone to mainland, then you have to pay the duty. So up to 300 dirham, we are not charging any declaration charges or customs duty on any e-commerce B2C transactions. Delivery and returns are also confirmed. So we not only one return, but we also support partial return as well. Get pass is also information available onto the platform. Whenever the get pass is issued, the free zone authority actually send that information on the detail. So in one place you will get that detail as well. And when the goods are moving from free zone to rest of the world, then or GCC countries, then there is a claim process involved where you have to do deposit and something, and then we have to claim it later on once the goods are exited, departed from the Dubai. So that part also we have automated for this platform. So you don't have to provide any inspections certificate or exit entry certificate or other claim registration charges. It is automated, just providing the exit information, and then claim is automatically processed, and it will be cleared. And also, there are some other benefits like we are providing here benefits to the companies that if the order value is below 30,000 dirham, CIF value is 30,000 dirham, then we are not charging any service charges. Like each declaration costs you something around 80 to 120 dirham. That is actually waived if one order is below 30,000 dirham. If it is more than 30,000 dirham, then it is actually normal way customs is charging. On return, the inspections are mandatory normal transactions, but through the platform, that inspection up to 10,000 dirham is waived off. So you do not require any inspections while returning. And also one thing more, uh, that it is all paperless. So there is no physical documents are required. So original invoices and exit entry certificate or physical copies, those documents are not required. In certain scenarios, when risk is involved, risk is identified, maybe customs ask you, but I think 99% it is auto cleared. I move to the next slide. Am I going faster or I have to keep my pace slow? I don't know. Okay, so for the registering the e-commerce companies, we do not require any specific license from the e-commerce companies. Customs are providing a special identification of e-commerce companies, like at the time of registration or amending the original registration with Dubai Customs, they have to provide such a domain registration, catalog listing, shopping cart, user accounts, payment gateway. These type of details if they provide, we will give them e-commerce status in our custom system. So there is no special any ministry you go and take a specific license from them. If companies do not have their own domain or own website where they are selling, sometimes they sell on marketplaces. That also we have a facility. If they show us the shop is a reference from that marketplace, and then we will give the status to e-commerce to them. Okay, this is a whole journey which I actually explain that how it actually works. So process starts with business registration and onboarding, followed by customs order creation. The e-commerce companies or 3PL submits the final orders, details, and shipping information, and inform provided by courier and delivery partners. So final order is coming, then shipping detail is coming. And the platform then automatically identifies the declarations and declaration type and submit the respective declaration. Once a declaration submitted, then the get pass free zone will issue a get pass based on the declaration number. And if it is going from other airports or going to other rest of the world or GCC, then the claim process will be triggered if goods are exited automatically, and the goods will be delivered to the customer once everything is done. And this is totally transparent, nothing is involved. So e-commerce company or 3PL company has full visibility from order creation till delivery, even return. If customers do one return or multiple return, that also be tracked through the platform. Okay, next slide. Okay. Returns are one of the biggest challenges in cross-border e-commerce. This platform introduced a simplified return management process by enabling automated return declarations, claim processing, and tracking. This reduces processing time, minimizes manual intervention, and improves the customer experience by making return faster and more predictable. So there is already explained that there's no inspections are required, only just by providing return request, which is either created by the customer, or if it is in case of undelivered, then the company, 3PL or courier company, can create a return request and the goods will come back to the free zone as a free zone good. And then you can again sell it, take it out as a free zone item. It is will not go to the local gate pass or something like that. It will be added into your original inventory. And then if duty are charged accordingly, duty will be paid. We support multiple partial returns. We will support multiple duty refund also, which does not require any extra paperwork. Just through return request and the goods confirmation from the warehouse that goods are delivered, physically delivered to the warehouse, that message actually triggers automatic refund of the customs duty wherever applicable. Okay, e-commerce supported transaction. So e-commerce platform actually supports B2C transactions. So if you can see it here, that normally the cargo coming from origin and coming to the Dubai, or either in a mainland or in a free zone, it will be coming through the normal channel, B2B channel. It is not on the platform. So you have to do it normally the way you are bringing the goods into the free zone or mainland. The blockchain start from free zone or mainland. If you are from free zone company, then free zone company can deliver goods to the mainland customers, can fulfill rest of the world customer and GCC countries also. And also from free zone to mainland, we are supporting. So in that scenario, suppose goods are going from free zone to rest of the world, the declaration is required. When it is returned back from the rest of the world, the new declaration will be triggered from here by the platform automatically. So it is invisible to the customers or 3PL or any e-commerce company that how declaration are processed, which type of declaration are processed, though you can track each and every declaration through the dashboard or through the platform interface, but it is invisible to everyone. It will just take uh, less than a minute to process your return or outbound declaration. You just need a time to take out from the free zone to deliver to the customer. That's the only time you need it. And it is possible through the platform that you can do the same day delivery also. Okay, so what is the main difference? Main difference is the traditional way we have a process. We do origin cargo is coming, then you have to keep it in a free zone, and from free zone you have to transfer the cargo in bulk into the mainland company warehouse, and then from mainland warehouse you have to do delivery to the customers. But when you join the platform, you can directly deliver the goods from free zone to mainland partner. There is no need to maintain a separate warehouse in the mainland. And because we are supporting return as well, so there is no need of keeping the goods, return goods in a separate warehouse. You can take it back the free zone if it is undelivered or returned by the customer. Okay, these are some benefits that we are providing that I have already explained. That actually they summarize the benefit of using the platform compared to the traditional channel. The platform provides advantages such as automated declaration creation, simplified return processing, reduced inspection requirements, automated claims, paperless transactions, and end-to-end tracking. These benefits help businesses reduce costs, improve speed, and provide a better experience to the customer. So these are the certain benefits on the platform. And if you do normal channel you are using, you will not get that much benefit on the platform. So these are self-explanatory. If anyone want more detail on it, I will be happy to explain those features. Okay, to summarize, the cross-border e-commerce platform provides a digital foundation for faster, simpler, and more transparent e-commerce operations by connecting business, logistic provider, customers, customs process into the one ecosystem. It enables efficient cross-border trade while reducing manual efforts thanking you, and I welcome you question and discussions on this topic. If anyone have a question, feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mufti, for your insightful presentation and for helping us better understand the critical role Dubai Custom plays in enabling efficient cross-border trade. Mr. Mufti showed the logo of Dubai Airport Free Zone, Jafza, and Dubai South. For the audience, I would like to clarify that Dubai Airport Free Zone and Dubai CommerCity are sister free zones, and the benefits highlighted are also applicable to Dubai CommerCity. So if anyone has any questions, you can include it in the chat box so we can read it out. So moving on to the next part of today's webinar, our panel discussion featuring industry leaders from logistics, fulfillment, and e-commerce enablement. The panel will explore where parcel stall, logistics, customs, and scaling cross borders. We are pleased to welcome our panelists, Mr. Hatim Zujair, General Manager, Centerpoint Logistics, Mr. Ben McLean, Director of Commercial Programs and Commercial Sustainability Lead, DHL Express, and Mr. Mohammed Al Razaz, co-founder and CEO of Otto. The discussion will be moderated by my colleague, Mr. Kapil Bhamare. Together, we will share perspectives on the challenges and opportunities shaping cross-border commerce today, from custom clearance and logistics optimization to scaling the operations across multiple markets and meeting rising customer expectations. With that, let's begin. Kapil, please take it forward.
Thank you, Juno. Thanks for a wonderful introduction for our panel members. And I'd like to welcome all the panel members for next 20 minutes of insightful discussion. So we have Mr. Zuzar from CPL Logistics, Mr. Bain from DHL, and Mr. Mohammed from Otto, as Juno has already introduced. So we have an interesting Q&A session over next 20 minutes. So I'd like to begin with Mr. Bain. So Mr. Bain, DHL owns the entire supply chain for managing the operations, right, from aircraft clearance to last mile, right? So when the parcel hits a bottleneck, what are the typical invisible or less visible bottlenecks which probably merchant can't see, but you as an operator can see and try and manage those bottlenecks as well? So what's your take on this?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the invite. Well, I think if you're talking from let's say an e-commerce perspective, e-commerce is global in nature. If you have a digital platform where a customer can connect and purchase, then you can pretty much reach any parts of the world. So to give you a perspective from DHL, we connect seller to buyer in over 190 countries and territories globally from the UAE. So it really is global in nature. I think if you work backwards from what's important to the consumer and also the seller is the integrators delivering your promise. You've invested a huge amount of money to attract that customer, lifetime value. So effectively you want to be able to deliver on your promise and obviously get repeat buyers. You're investing a huge amount of money into attracting consumers. You want them to repeat buy so you can build up your profitability and obviously your customer base. So from that, you want to delight them. Data becomes integral. So working with an international operator like DHL, as an example, gives you that visibility. Now, obviously, when you operate in a global supply chain, as an example, the recent conflicts we had in this region, we was able to mobilize very quickly. So whilst Dubai and Bahrain are regional hubs for us, we also have hubs, as an example, in Amman and also in Riyadh. So that allows us then to immediately rewire our network, connecting to different locations and still keep our customers connected to the world. And I think that's incredibly important. And whilst we have, situations like geopolitical challenges and maybe environmental issues, whatever that may be in different parts of the world, is we're able to still connect the customer, provide them information, keep them connected, and allow the customer to, obviously control their experience. So to give you an idea, I think one of the other areas I think is incredibly important is not just the end-to-end delivery experience and the transit time, but it's also the consistency. When you think about peak periods like Black Friday and Cyber Monday and so on and so forth, they want to ensure they're receiving their order at the right time. And I think the last point I want to make is also the customer service. That can become incredibly expensive for a merchant if you're receiving complaints, having to deal with them, different time zones, different languages. It becomes quite challenging. So effectively, we're not just delivering the promise in terms of the actual order, but we're actually managing the customer experience on the ground in that country. So they would receive a push notification. They know when the order is going to be there. They can interact to decide how they want to receive it, when they want to receive it. But they can also contact DHL in the local time zone, in the language they want, and when they want. So that takes a lot of pressure off, the merchant, and obviously helps them reduce their cost and delight the customer. So it's having that whole global network gives it the overall experience. It's not just the operational side we think of; it's the connectivity of data, customs, the clearance, the data of information, and then customer service to delight the customer.
Great. Thank you. I think you have touched base on a very important point of customer service, considering you operate across 190 plus countries, right? So having that efficient network and resources of managing customer care is very critical. And that's one of the bottleneck I believe the merchants and consumers try to interpret, right? Everyone wants a quick solution, but that's not the reality, right? And that's where I think that efficiency comes into the picture for players like DHL, right? Thank you. Thanks, Ben, for your clarity on this subject. Moving on to next question for Mr. Hatim. Mr. Hatim, CPL operates on an open architecture model out of Dubai, right? As per our understanding, you have a large-scale fulfillment facility based in Jebel Ali. Having said that, this open architecture gives a lot of flexibility, but ends up giving a challenge on control of the shipment. So, what are the typical pros and cons of open architecture when it comes to operating a large scale fulfillment facility in Dubai?
Hi, Kapil, and hello, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting us for this panelist. And I would love to reply these things because, yeah, we are into the open architecture model, right? Because the thing is, the CPL is into the warehousing, and huge warehousing facilities are there. Along with this, we have a 3PL customers are there. So the advantage of an open architecture model is that gives us option when a shipment is at the bottleneck. We encounter an unusual bottlenecks in cross-border logistics. Delays are often caused due to the uh, capacity constraints is there, regulation changes are there, customs requirements are there, or country requirements are there. Disruptions are specific, or some specific gateway reasons are there due to which the bottlenecks arises. Because we are not locked into a single carrier or single option sort of things, so we have an options to relieve this bottleneck by selecting the flexibility, by selecting the by changing the venue, by changing the carrier, by changing the country. Customs rules are there, so we change the countries over there. So for us, the big volume, yeah, we get it, the flexibility are there, and regulations are dependent, or whatever issues are there, we try to sort it out. Because in our case, the volume is higher, and plus the thing is that we have that time limit is there. Second thing, yeah, openness only works if it is supported by the strong governance. Operational governance, every additional handoff introduces a potential risk, around data quality, data visibility, and the transparency of the management. So if there is an inconsistency, any partners out there, then the parcel gets stalled, and then it actually increases the timeline. Our approach is to keep the network running, to keep the network moving smoothly. So yeah, in parcel shipment, sometimes it gets very difficult, and the shipment life cycle gets delayed. So in other words, if the open architecture works for a volume one, for the stored parcel, it has a difficulties are there, but there are now the situations are changing it because of the implementation of the smart custom systems, smart cross-border logistics are there, smart cross-border systems are there, operational efficiencies are there, which has improved these things, and which has improved the visibility and the flexibility of the movement of the cargo. So I believe, yeah, there is a thing is there, bottleneck creates a stall and creates this kind of things are there. But in general, yeah, if it is worked out smartly and the manage it operationally, efficiencies are there, we can move it out those issues.
That's interesting. I think it's very important to stress on the governance part, right? As you said, I think
Yes.
as long as there is a smart governance in play, I think these bottlenecks can be handled by players like CPL. Great, thank you. Now, moving on to the next question for Mr. Mohammed, who is the co-founder of Auto, the Uber of logistics world, right? That's what we usually refer them. So, Mr. Mohammed, when you started Auto, right, integrating carriers across the different markets, so what was the original model where you saw the most failures and how you ended up making it as a most efficient platform currently in the region?
Yeah, thank you, Kapil. So basically, when we started at Auto, we wanted to fix a problem that I think many people who wanted to fix the shipping problem did not really focus on, which is when you see a delay in a shipment or a problem with a shipping experience, usually the consumers thinks there is a shipping carrier problem, right? So and that's why many entrepreneurs and problem solvers, they end up building another shipping carrier to kind of like solve that bigger problem and fix that experience. But what we notice at Auto is that once a consumer hits the buy button, the full experience starts from there and it ends with shipping, while the shipping is only the last piece of it. And this is basically the broken part, is the what we call today is the e-commerce shipping operations that are basically happening. And this is what we wanted to basically to fix. When we looked at the successful models of, for example, Amazon or Noon in the region or Trendyol, these companies, they have 7 different technology stacks that are combined together, and this is what fits in between your e-commerce platform and the shipping carriers solutions, right? And that includes like the order management system that decides where this order should be sent or fulfilled from. And then you have, based on the inventory and the customer location, and then you have the warehouse management system running the full warehouse operations inside your store, from picking, packing, dispatching. And then you have the last mile management system that helps you to decide which carrier you should ship with. And this becomes even a more critical part with the cross-border experience, because you need to fully understand what are the different requirements and what are the different rates, the different SLAs, etc. And then you have the driver management if you are delivering and shipping using your own fleet and your own drivers. And then you have the returns management system that automate the full returns process from the consumer side and from the business side, and the customer notification and tracking. So imagine that in order to provide an Amazon-like shipping experience or a Noon-like shipping experience, you need to have 7 different kind of like tape connect solutions, right? In order to provide that experience. And that becomes very heavy and costly, especially for the medium businesses, small and medium businesses, to build and to scale and to bear, actually, because they have different fees and different costs. And more importantly, today in the era of AI is the data concentration. The data will be fragmented across these 7 different systems. So like when you ask your operational team what happened with my order or why this order was delayed, you have to kind of like check multiple systems to know if the delay was from the shipping carrier or from your operational team or from your own drivers or from processing the order or whatever. So what we wanted to build at Auto is to provide that full tech stack through a unified technology. So it's a combined offering. So today we offer it from end to end, from the order management until the customer notification and tracking. And we have integrated already with over 450 shipping carriers, locally, regionally, and even globally. And the main goal is once the client press that buy button, you will be able to basically use Auto as your operating system to manage your shipping operations. And we work very closely with our partners from the shipping carriers to make sure that even the experience that they would require, or the readiness that they would require from their merchants, is actually there. I'm just going to give you a very simple example. When you try to ship something from UAE to Qatar, okay, there is a completely different experience than actually shipping from UAE to Saudi, right? Or from UAE to the US. For example, in Qatar specifically, they would ask you to provide the ID copy of the recipient with the front card and the back of the cards. So there are some like documentation and requirements required, right? So Imagine if you assume, like, if I give this to the shipping carrier, they should figure it out, and then the shipping carrier will try to attempt the delivery, and it gets stuck at the customs, and then it will be returned back. You as a business will bear the whole cost, and that's the one of the gaps that we're trying to bridge by building the knowledge and the technology, using the technology to provide a better shipping experience overall.
Thank you. Thanks, Mohammed. I always admired the business model like Otto, having a consolidated platform, right? That really simplifies the life of merchants for sure, right? However, this leads to another question, which is the next question for DHL, right? Now, looking at the sustainability demand for the global supply chain, right? Players like DHL, they play a very vital role when it comes to sustainable shipping. And as we know, the traditional B2B orders used to move long distances with a large parcel size, but now the parcel size for B2C is very small. However, the distance traveled across the cross border remains the same, right? So, where do you see merchants are willing to pay? At the end of the day, it's going to be a cost in their P&L, right? So, what's your view on this, Mr. Bin?
Yeah, look, good question. Look, I think sustainability is clear. It's not a nice to have anymore. It's a key priority for consumers when they're purchasing. We just finished our annual report, which we survey thousands of customers globally, actually, on e-commerce. And the good news is e-commerce has increased in terms of purchasing online from 60 to 70% of local company or consumers now buying cross-border as opposed to domestic, which is great. At the same time, what we're seeing is the rise of importance with sustainability practices. Obviously, we're a lot more, environmentally aware now in terms of where the product's from, how it's made, how it's produced, the type of packaging. So the consumer's looking for this information, especially when you mentioned, Kapil, the distance of travel. If I'm buying something cross-border, I know that I'm going to have, a carbon footprint. So what does it look like? So as a consumer, I want to know that that information is made available to me, and I have options to potentially reduce it or remove it. So from DHL's perspective, I'm very pleased to share that we have introduced green logistics as a global pillar. We have committed to be net zero by 2050. It's a huge challenge when you consider we've got over 600,000 employees globally, being the most international company in the world with, obviously our own, as you mentioned earlier, our own airline. So to undertake such a huge commitment obviously takes a lot of effort and obviously financial investment. But if we don't do this, then, we don't attract customers, we don't retain our staff. So, this is a huge mission that's very important to us. Now, when I look at it from a consumer perspective, the reality is if I look at an e-commerce business per se, when I consider what we say scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3, scope 3 is typically the movement of goods or the movement of people. And if I look at a typical e-commerce business, 85% of their emissions is scope 3. Now, there is a decree here in the UAE for obviously the UAE to be net zero, then that means the private sector, meaning us, has to make those emission reductions. So now companies will be required, like corporate tax, to start providing their emissions reporting. So you've got the consumer side and you've got the business side, the practical side. So when I look at the, from an e-commerce business, scope 3, as I say, being 85%, 65% being the movement of product, then the reality is they've got to report it. They've got a commitment to their customer to be sustainable. And obviously there needs to be a lot more aware of that. Now, we've created a product called Go Green Plus, which uses sustainable aviation fuel. We launched this about 4 years back. Since we went live, we have around, in the group, estimate 500,000 customers globally, around 10,000 in the UAE that have joined our pledge. And that's using sustainable aviation fuel. So we operate a book and claim model, which pretty much means the customer can claim those reductions that DHL's already booked to scope 1, which is the emissions that we're creating, the classification. And that customer, as a joint investment, can be part of that movement. What we've done with our e-commerce customers, they build that into their value proposition. They make it aware to their customers. So then when the customer is obviously buying that product, they know that some of that emissions or a large chunk of that emissions is reduced. The other areas we work with our customers is, for example, packaging. There's obviously a lot of companies, as you could probably imagine, who don't have the efficiencies within their fulfillment, don't have the right packaging that's available, the right materials, or there could be space when they're shipping. So we try to work with those things. And I think the other big thing is really around data. You heard from Mohammed speaking about data, and I think it's really, really important to have that. So you want to know your consumer habits. So as an example, if I'm delivering, I'm giving them choice. So therefore, if we deliver it first time, then the reality is there's less emissions, less returns as a result, or so there's less emissions. The other thing as well is from a consumer perspective, they now want to make sure when they're doing their checks that you have these things in place. So you've got to make sure it's in your into your brand proposition, and that's where we spend a lot of time with our customers to really help them understand what that means to them. So I mean, just to summarize it, I mean, consumers, to answer the last part of the questions, we see when we do our annual report, 50% of buyers say they're more concerned about environment in their purchasing decision than they was the previous year. And up to 77% of customers are willing to pay more for a sustainable product and shipping than there was the previous year. So that tells you that's part of the buying process when a cross-border consumer decides to buy from that company. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea about the consumer, the company, and a little bit about what we're doing from a logistical perspective.
That's interesting, Ben. I think the way DHL is engaging the stakeholders, right, merchants, consumer, to really drive this sustainability aspect in the supply chain, I think that's commendable. And I think global players like DHL can be a trendsetter in the market, because sustainability is something is not clearly visible, right, when it comes to benefits. It's a long-term goal for the global environment, and that, I think the players like DHL play a very important role. Great. Thank you. Thanks for your insights, Ben. Moving on to Mr. Hatem. Mr. Hatim, as I understand from the CPL business model, the facilities and the operations are traditionally designed for B2B businesses, right? Like large cargo profiles, oil and gas projects. However, now switching to retail and e-commerce, which is a fast-moving operations, right? How do you see that your infrastructure, which was originally designed for this, is breaking at times, and what kind of fixes you are doing it in your day-to-day operations within the facility? You're on a mute, Mr. Zuzer.
Actually, the challenge is the process design. Industrial project cargo typically has a high volume shipments, as I said, and the number of shipments are very less. But considering the retail e-commerce business, where the parcels are the volumes are less, but the number of shipments are very high. Like thousands of parcels has to be cleared in a day, and the process is totally different for that particular things. Yeah, we are prepared with it for that, because our infrastructure, we have completely designed our infrastructure. Currently, we have started our project for B2B e-commerce, which is in line, and which is we are trying to implement it, and we are going it with some innovative things where we can suffice B2B e-commerce very strongly, and simultaneously we are going for B2C e-commerce also. When an organization attempts a scale e-commerce volume through the infrastructure designed for the project logistics, then the pressure point tends to appear in the customs processing, right? Data management, last mile deliveries, management workflows, manual workflows, and this particular things plays an important role in doing the retail e-commerce business for that. If these things are not properly managed and the operational efficiencies are not done, then we think that it is not going to handle, that particular system cannot handle thousands of parcels which is coming to be cleared in a day. Like we said, that Mr. Shahid Mufti has clearly given us the process and the things which Dubai Customs is doing it. So Dubai Customs has played a role of making this e-commerce business, retail B2C e-commerce business, very flexible. So that particular thing has to be implemented over there. As far as CPL is concerned, yeah, CPL is prepared to do. We do the cross trade business also for B2B and B2C also. And the major challenge we face is in different country and cross trade is the customs process, is the design of the data management, how the data management is designed over that particular region. But over here, yeah, we don't face any issues over there because there are different modules, different systems, different integrations are available to move more flexibly in Dubai, in especially in Dubai trade systems wise. So perfectly well, yeah, we face the challenges for B2C and we are overcoming it because of still waiting for the automated system like Dubai to be implemented in other Dubai in the other custom trade system in different countries over there.
Interesting, interesting. And I think you might have seen in the first presentation from Dubai Customs, right? They have developed
Yes,
a B2C dedicated platform to
that's right.
streamline the entire process. I think that's one of the initiatives from the government side, and I'm sure there are many more in the pipeline as well, right?
That's right.
So great. Thank you. Thanks for your insights. Moving on to the last question for Mr. Mohammed from Otto. Mr. Mohammed, again, the point here is what goes wrong when it comes to cross border shipping, right? And we are trying to stress this point through this engagement so that the attendees here in the webinar, right, they have a clear understanding where are the major bottlenecks. So there are instances, Mr. Mohammed, wherein the bottlenecks are not external but internal. Merchant has made a mistake, and that's where the whole shipment is not able to go through smoothly, right? So where do you think, what are the obvious case scenarios wherein the system fails versus the merchant failure? What do you think? You're on a mute, Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah, so we actually see it clearly across the data. And the answer might actually surprise people. So the majority of the cross-border failures are actually merchant side, not carrier side. And they happen before even the shipment moves, right? So wrong or, for example, missing HS codes, declared value that don't match the invoices, or, for example, missing the country of origin documentation. These aren't carrier failures, right? They are data failures that the merchant created at the point of shipment creation. And that surface 3 days later when the parcel is basically sitting in a customs facility, right? So usually carriers, they get blamed for a lot of delays that they did not cause. And what we're trying to do at Auto is to push that compliance layer as early as possible, as I mentioned, ideally at basically post checkout or at label generation. So by that time, when the shipment moves, it's already has been validated against the rules of the destination market. And that is also very important. I mean, we're doing that from the merchant side. And by the way, from the shipping carrier side, we're not saying that there are no delays happening from the shipping carrier side. We're actually trying to show or to shed the light by being more transparent on the performance of the shipping carriers, by showing that at the stage of creating a shipment. So when you create a shipment, you get to compare between the different shipping carriers based on their performance, based on their cost, based on their SLA. So you can actually make a data-driven decision and to set your expectation and your client expectation on when this shipment should be received if everything moves basically clearly. So, and usually the best merchants we work with, they have actually made this invisible to their operations, right? So the ones who are still struggling are usually treating it as someone else's problem by saying, you know what, like the delay happened, we should just like blame the shipping carrier, or the shipping carrier did not do the proper job to make sure that this gets delivered. But that's how we see it from the data data points that we look at.
That's interesting. I think Bain will align to this point. Right? The point of origin mistake sometimes makes the shipping company's life difficult, right? And the merchant doesn't understand this complexity when it comes to documentation part, right? So, with that in mind, I would like to thank all the panel member for insights in today's webinar. Due to time constraint, we will take one quick question with Dubai Customs, and for rest of the questions, Dubai CommerCity team will get back with the clear answer from the experts. So, Mr. Shahid, there is a specific question for you. Are you around? Hello.
Yes, I'm around.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mr. Shahid is here. Thank you. So there is a question from the audience regarding the cross-border e-commerce platform, right? So will the documents need from customs remain same as today for free zone, or will it be simplified? So this is a question from one of the attendees. So feel free to answer this question in your capacity.
Yes, actually, I already explained that this is totally paperless transactions. Even no separate data entry is required. We make it very simplified that the order which is created by a customer, we are using the same data. Only some data is required from the logistic provider to identify goods as HS code, or which accounts is used to deduct the customs duty or other charges wherever applicable. So this additional information is required, I think, which is most of the companies are doing automated this process even because they have already predefined HS codes. So when SKUs are already identified, then they have a order management system have the subsequent HS code related to it. So it is automatically pop up and send it to the platform, and platform will automatically trigger the declaration. It will not ask any additional document, the physical document or something. Only very rare scenario where the risk is identified or some the risky goods are there. In that scenario, I can say that it's very rare, but if it is there, there is a possibility. Otherwise, no documents are required. Even return, we also do not require any inspections or any document.
Okay. So if we break it down into two scenarios, right? Mainland merchant versus a free zone merchant, correct? Free zone registered company. So is the set of documents same, or are we looking at more simple documentation going forward for free zone registered companies?
For the particular order declaration you are talking about,
Yes,
or
for
registration part?
For B2C order.
Nothing, no documents are required, whether the company is from the mainland or company is from the free zone. If they are processing through the blockchain platform, process is same for both. Only declaration type will be used differently. So it is also automatically identified by the platform. So there is no one expert is required that which type of declaration should required if I'm from free zone. If the same company has multiple offices, free zone office, they mainland also company. So if they wanted to use it, it will leave it to the platform. They will automatically create outbound declaration as well as return declaration.
Great, thank you. Due to time constraint, we cannot take all the questions. We in fact have multiple inquiries in the chat box for the B2C platform. However, Dubai CommerCity team will get back to the questions via email. If there is any clarification required, feel free to reach out to us at partnership@dubaicommercity.e. Now, once again, thank you for all the panel members for joining us today. I will pass it on to my colleague Juno to handle the closing remarks. Thank you. Over to you, Juno.
Thank you, Kapil. Well, the discussion was very engaging and insightful. Thank you, Mr. Mufti, Mr. Zajar, Mr. McLean, Mr. Alrazaz, and Mr. Bhamare. It has been extremely valuable to hear different perspectives on the realities of cross-border trade and the practical steps businesses can take to improve operational efficiency, accelerate custom clearance, and deliver better customer experiences. Today's discussion has highlighted that while international commerce continues to grow rapidly, success depends on much more than simply reaching new markets. Businesses must be able to navigate compliance requirements, optimize logistics operations, leverage technology effectively, and build resilient cross border supply chains. We hope today's session has provided useful insights and practical takeaways that you can apply within your organization as you continue to expand and scale across cross borders. At Dubai CommerCity, we remain committed to creating platforms that bring together industry leaders, innovators, and businesses to discuss the trends and opportunities shaping the future of digital commerce. We look forward to welcoming you to our upcoming webinar scheduled for July 24th, focusing on fundraising in the Middle East. For future updates and event announcements, please follow us on LinkedIn page. You can also find the recordings of our 2026 webinar series on our official Dubai CommerCity YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that as well. For any inquiries or partnership opportunities, please feel free to reach out to us at partnership@dubaicommercity.ae. Thank you once again for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon and the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.